He's doing his thing, representing in WWE, King of the Ring. I'm doing my thing, representing with New Japan Strong. What's up, everyone? I'm Mr. No Days Off, Fred Rosser, WWE veteran, and you are listening and watching Sportskeeda Wrestling.
And I'm Antonio LeMons. I'm one of the hosts of The House, and I'm excited to be here today.
Let's start with Antonio. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about the show as well?
Hi, yes, I'm Antonio LeMons, and I am a community psychologist and life coach. And most importantly, I'm one of the co-hosts of The House. The House is a LGBTQ plus program that interviews, we're a dinner party, and we invite various individuals from the community over to dinner to talk about their lives and to talk about their lives in ways that most platforms don't allow just for the sake of time. So we have one guest we spend the evening with, a 3-course meal, and really get to dive into the things that the guests feel is important and things that are topical in our society right now. So we're really excited about it. And of course, we had an opportunity to sit down with Fred, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as the interview progresses, I'm sure.
So where can people watch the show?
It airs every Friday on Fox Soul, and it can be accessed at foxsoul.tv. That's every Friday at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific. And then it rebroadcasts on Saturdays live on YouTube in the mornings.
So what made Fred, such a perfect guest for the show? And also, are you a pro wrestling fan as well?
Oh, absolutely. And what made Fred a great guest, and I'm sure as Fred tells more of his story, it'll make sense. But how he's lived his life, what he means for the community, that's what made him a perfect guest, because all of our guests not only are members of the community, but they also are contributing to the community vis-a-vis being a role model. And a lot of people don't like that word, role model, but when you step into your boldness and you move freely, you become a role model whether you want to or not, because so many people are looking for that freedom and looking for those who can lead in that way. So Fred was a no-brainer, and we were so glad to have him at the house. And it's good to see you, Fred.
Yes, good to see you too, Antonio.
And can you tell me about the rest of the cast of the show as well?
Sure, I have to give a shout out to my fellow co-hosts, Chris, Aaron, Cheryl, and we're doing the rounds. The show is so exciting. We're getting a lot of positive feedback. People are really enjoying the in-depth conversations and the interactions. We're all different, the 4 of us. And so we're called the fam. And just like any family, there's the different personas of the family. I guess I've become nicknamed Daddy Antonio, and then there's Cousin Chris, and there's Baby A, and there's Auntie Cheryl. So you have to tune in and understand why we have the nicknames that we do. But it's a really fun experience to be working with such diverse personalities, and we all represent different aspects of the community as well. So, just think about when you get together with family and you're just kicking back and enjoying each other and addressing topics, and you never know what might happen or what might get said, right?
Absolutely. So coming to Fred, what made you want to be a part of this show?
Well, first, what made me want to be a part of this interview is I always say, don't die with the story and you tell it. I say it daily. I just got in from the gym. I'm in New York City, so I'm huffing and puffing and stumbling and fumbling over my words, but I needed to get this interview out of the way to share my experience on the house over the pandemic. When I got this opportunity, I said, absolutely. However I can share my story, whatever platform it's on, big or small, I'm gonna do it. When I was under WWE's umbrella for some time, you kind of need permission to do these interviews and these opportunities. When you're under their conglomerate, you have to kind of abide by their rules. But since I'm on my own, doing my own thing, when I was contacted about this opportunity, I said, absolutely. My experience was phenomenal, and I can't wait to see it tonight. My episode 1 hour. I'm not a big fan of listening to myself talk. So this is going to be quite fun, quite interesting, seeing what I said on the house.
Amazing. I was just, so people on our channel obviously know you well. I mean, you are a Sportskeeda veteran as well. Um, Now, I was checking out your social media right before we got on, and I saw how excited you were about Xavier Woods and like everything he achieved in Saudi Arabia. Do you want to comment on that?
I think it's just an unbelievable turn of events with wrestling, him becoming the king of the ring. I think representation is so important when it comes to not only the LGBTQ experience, but the African American experience. And he's doing his thing, representing in WWE, King of the Ring. I'm doing my thing, representing with New Japan Strong. And for them to give me the opportunity, New Japan Strong, to kind of wreck house and be me and accept my LGBTQ superhero type energy, it means the world to me. You know, New Japan Pro Wrestling were the first to put me on the marquee before WWE. So for them to accept the LGBTQ experience I bring to the table, me being African American, it means the world to me. It means the world to me. And I'll explain it tonight on the house how my story had a galvanizing effect on the wrestling and entertainment world. I didn't realize my story was a big deal until, of all people, the icon Cher reached out to me and said, because of her hearing my story, one of her friends who's a big wrestling fan came out. So it was that minute when I came out, 2013, it was that minute I realized that my story was a big deal. So, you know, you'll hear people say, oh, I need a break from social media, but I can't take a break from social media. I'm Mr. No Days Off. I don't post for the thousands that might hate on me. I post for that one person that is inspired and motivated to keep on pushing. And just like The Rock and Will Smith and Tom Hanks and Matthew McConaughey, they're inspirations to me. I gravitate towards them on social media. So I have an audience myself that gravitates towards me. So I can't take breaks. I don't take no days off from social media because I've got to be a superhero for the community. Every time my feet touch the ground in the morning, I know someone is counting on me. So I've got to be that superhero for everyone, not just for the LGBTQ community, not just for the African American community, for all communities. You know, we need like a racial harmony day, month, year where we all come together and we accept each other's differences and just live life to the fullest authentically. And you know, I can plan for these interviews that I do about what I'm going to say, but I work better speaking from the heart.
Absolutely. So now that that's been brought up, I mean, when it comes to Saudi Arabia, it's always a double-edged sword. It's the country is not always tolerant towards the community. So would you have gone under ordinary circumstances to Saudi Arabia to spread your message?
You know, unfortunately, I don't have control. If I did, you know, I think I would love to go over there. I just don't have control over, what Saudi Arabia does with wrestling and the entertainment field, but they are making moves, apparently, having women wrestle for the first time on the shows. I can't control what WWE does. I can only control my actions and what I do on a daily basis. And that's not only sharing my story on the house, but that's sharing my story on social media. And, you know, at the end of the day, whether it's on social media or on television, Fox Soul Tonight, I want people to look at me and identify with me and say to themselves, well, if this guy can do it, so can I. So, you know, I'd be lying to you if I told you that everything was roses. You know, we all have our ups and downs. We all deal with mental health in particular in different ways. You know, for me, I've got to work out. If I didn't work out before this interview, I would be very antsy and stuff like that. So first and foremost, to combat my own mental health, working out is very important to me. I always use the analogy when I fly. The next time any of you guys go flying, listen to the flight attendant perfectly as she says, or he says, put the oxygen mask on yourself before assisting others. So I've got to wake up every day and, I've got a ton of stuff to do after this interview, but first and foremost, I've got to get my gym out the way. I've got to get that me time out the way because mental health is so important. And that's what helps me combat all the low points that I've had in my life and that I have now. Like I said, nothing's roses. So again, I've got to do me first before helping others.
Fox Soul Season 3.
People say, oh, I didn't know you were gay, or, oh my God, I didn't realize you were black, or you're so articulate.
All new Fox Soul shows and specials.
I heard my neighbor say, that's the guy that looks like a girl.
Don't you have a guy that looks like a girl?
Why are you so concerned about me?
But get this, but it's a fact.
Hey, y'all get lit up.
Y'all get lit.
Fox Soul Season 3.